like I'm always just getting out of the shower when I make these videos. But hello, my name is Jenny. Welcome to the channel. Today, I just want to be so real and so raw and give you my honest advice. Remember, I'm just a girl on YouTube sharing my own personal experience and my own journey. So take what you will, what resonates, leave what doesn't. That being stated, let's get started. You have to know when to walk away. And I actually made a video, a very emotional video actually, of knowing when to walk away, when to let go and walk away. So definitely check that because this is going to be kind of like an extension. I'm in a little bit of a better state of mind. I am making a long vlog of my healing process, which will come out in several months because it's like months worth of footage. This is a topic I want to get into of when people mistreat you. They may not be doing it intentionally, or you may not even see it as mistreatment until you're out, until you've put your foot down and left. And then you can look back and reflect and be like, you know what? That person wasn't the nicest to me, or that situation, or that boss, or that friend, or that girl, that man, it doesn't matter. It wasn't the best situation, wasn't the nicest, and I definitely deserve more, and you deserve more. And I don't want anybody to make you feel like you don't. Because if you start telling yourself that and you start believing that, you're going to get into the cycle of feeling like you're worthless, even if it's subconscious, and you're going to stay in situations that don't elevate you. And life is all about evolution, about growing. And so if you become stagnant and you're not evolving, you're not growing, you're not learning, it's going to get sucky. Life is going to get rough, and you're going to meet people on a lower energy, and it's going to drag you down. And instead of going up, you're going to go down. And that happens sometimes. That's normal. That's part of life. But when you realize you're going down, you need to make a shift. You are not a victim in this. And like, yeah, what happened to you sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You shouldn't have to go through that. You shouldn't have to experience these bad people in your life, or these people that mistreat you, or whatever the case may be. It sucks, but you know, you learn from it, and eventually you will move on. And I'm not saying you'll ever forget. I'm not saying you'll ever not miss it, but eventually you will be like, okay, you know what, I do deserve more. And once you get to the point of where these people are trying to come back in and take advantage of you again, even if they don't know that they're taking advantage of you, if you know that they are, you need to close that door, not let them back in. Repeat this cycle and need to be the person that you want to be. So imagine if you're a man or woman. I'm going to say girl in this video because I'm a girl. So imagine the woman you want to be. What does she wear? What does she look like? What is her mindset? Where is she at in life? What type of people does she interact with? What type of job does she have? What type of friends does she have? What type of relationship does she have? And act like that. You might not be that version yet, but act like you are. Because you are training, you are learning, so that way, whenever you eventually do become that person, you have all the skills, you have the right mindset, and that's how you become that person. And that's what I'm doing right now, is I don't want to be the girl that always just lets people back in. If a man says you're not good enough, or a man says, or somebody, or even a job says like, oh, we don't want you, or people try to scam you, or a relationship is just not working out and they want to leave, or they think the grass is greener, or they think their life is better without you, let them find out. Let them go. Let them find out. Let them live that life, and you get elevated. And this might be a toxic way of thinking, but if it gets you through, it gets you through. If you have to prove yourself to them, for one, they're not worth it in the first place, and that should be your red flag, because you don't have to prove yourself to nobody. But if you need motivation, you need, to elevate yourself, maybe get that dream job you've been going after, become the woman that you want to be, become the man you want to be, use it as like a F you, Be like, yeah, actually, I can't do this without you. Yeah, actually, I don't need your input. And elevate yourself and prove them wrong. I'm not saying how you prove them wrong is not by reaching out and being like rubbing it in their face that you made it or that you're happy now. No. Proving them wrong is proving your worth to yourself. Proving that you are deserving of love, that you are deserving of healthy relationships, you are deserving of the highest end paying job, you are deserving of billions. We're literally on a rock in the middle of space, like who cares? Literally, who cares? Why does it matter? You deserve it. You deserve what you want. And so how you get what you want is start acting, being the version of you, having mindsets, having affirmations of yourself that you are deserving and that you are worthy and that, you know what, you are going to make it, and we are making changes. We need to break this cycle. And I'm going to give you an example, a personal example of the cycle I was stuck in a romantic sense with a romantic partner is, they already told me what they want, and their actions speak louder than words, but they already told me like, oh, you're not good enough, basically, or that, you know, you're not smart enough, or that, basically putting themselves on the pedestal and putting me under and always making me feel like I was in the shadows just because I don't value the same things that they value. No. If somebody's making you feel like that, they may not realize it, but it is toxic. Just because you don't have the same values as somebody doesn't mean you're any less worthy of love. Doesn't mean you're any less worthy of the life you want to live. It's just different. Our souls are all on its own journey, and we all experience things differently. We all have things that make us happy and make us not happy and satisfy us. So just because your perspective on things is different than somebody else's doesn't mean you're wrong, doesn't mean you're insignificant, doesn't mean that it's invalid. So don't let somebody make you feel that way, because simply it's not true. Anyways, getting back to the topic of the cycle I was in, so I was always like, you know, if they leave, trying to make them love me, trying to be better, trying to change myself, trying to reflect. It's good to reflect on your own bad behaviors or even good behaviors in past so you can grow and learn as a person. But when you start reflecting in a way that is just not true, where your brain is just lying to you, where you're just basically degrading yourself, even if you don't realize it, and always trying to change, and you become the chaser, and they get higher and higher on the pedestal, your energy is getting lower and lower, and you're getting drained. These people are draining you. And that's the fastest way to lose your power, and that's the fastest way for your soul to die. That's the fastest way for you to stop seeing value in life, because you put so much value in other people, especially people that don't even elevate you. They're just kind of just dragging you down. So I was in the cycle of like always giving in and always being the one to make plans, or always being the one that's like, oh, I can try harder, or I'll give you time, or you can figure it out. Basically being walked over. Basically not putting my foot down. Like, if you want to leave and experience something else, I'll still be here. I'll wait for you. You know where to find me. I won't delete you. I won't leave. No. Enough of that, because that is still you holding on to something, and that is you giving them the power, and you need to take your power back, because they will always take advantage of you. They will always walk all over you if you let them. You're not setting good boundaries by doing that. And I'm talking to myself here, and whoever else needs to hear that. What you have to do is that you have to genuinely put your foot down. You have to close the door and lock it and leave. And when they come back and when they see you're elevated, you cannot go back, because they made a choice. Unless they really, really have changed and you do want to try again, they made a choice. And they made a choice to leave. They made a choice, because love and relationships, there will be good feelings, and yes, but sparks eventually die. And they can come back, and it goes up and down, but you stick with it, because love is a choice. It is a commitment. Everything is choice. So the moment they choose to stop trying, the moment they choose to stop loving, the moment they choose that, maybe I will be better off without you, let them. Let them figure it out, and you can't help them. You can't control them. They're going to figure it out on their own, and they're going to realize just how worthy you actually were. And by the time they come back, you're going to be elevated. Your energy is going to be up here, and so unless they match it, do not go back to down here, because you are going to get stuck in that cycle. And so what I had to do to break out of the cycle was be like, no, I'm done. I told him, I was like, you know, I love you, but I'm done. I'm not doing this. I said, I'm not going to wait around forever. You basically have a time frame until I'm healed. I'm the type of person, you know, I want to wait, I want to try, I want to be committed, but if you're so back and forth with me, like, there's no point. There's no point with somebody that's going to be hot and cold to you. Somebody that really wants you and loves you and values you is not going to do that to you. Not to say you never care for the person and that you never love the person and that you're just completely give up on trying, but you have to realize when it is just suffocating your soul, whenever you are putting too much value out of something that is not yourself, because at the end of the day, we came in this world alone, we're coming out alone. So really prioritize what is important, and one of the biggest things that is important is your peace. And once somebody or something starts making you anxious, and I don't mean just like butterfly anxious or trying to tell you something type of anxiety, but I mean like anxious, like thinking of them gives you panic attacks, and maybe they weren't even that bad, but for some reason you're just sick to your stomach when you think about them. And that's not to say you don't love them, but it's doing more harm than good than being with them. It's time to leave. That's your sign to pack your bags and go. Plan your exit, get out, learn how to detach. It's a process. You're going to go up, you're going to go down, but give yourself grace, give yourself patience, but just keep telling yourself, the version of me, the future me that has it all, that is stable, that is at peace, that is happy, what did she do? What did he do in order to get there? And start implementing that behavior. And when you're struggling, and when you feel like going back, and when you feel like spamming them again, or trying to heal that anxious need inside you, that is when you just say, one more moment. I just need one more day. Just get through one more day. And then the next day, maybe in the morning, at night, whenever those waves come on again, you just say, I gotta get through this moment one more day. You just do that over and over and over. And one day you will wake up and be so proud of yourself. And you're not gonna wanna talk. You're not even gonna wanna go back, because the thought of talking is just like ill. Like, actually, it gets to that point, and you can forgive somebody and love somebody without letting them back in, without letting them walk all over you, because the moment that you let that door open and they come back, it gives them a chance to abuse you again. It starts the cycle all over again. So this is your sign. Elevate yourself, level up in life. Find outside of the relationship or outside of this thing that is keeping you in a toxic cycle, outside of that, what fulfills you. You might not have an answer to that right now. You might not have an answer to that right now. That might take a while to discover. I'm discovering it myself, but genuinely, what fulfills you outside of this relationship, outside of this situation, outside of this job, and start doing the things that fulfill you, that would fulfill you. This, for me, it's making videos. I love making videos. I love talking. I love inspiring. I love helping, even if it's just one person. I just want to talk. I want to share my story, and I want to inspire. This is what fulfills me. So this is what I do. I take breaks. I allow myself to have breaks. At the end of the day, if I have something to say, I'm going to say it. So yeah, that's my rant. Learn how to close the door. I want you to elevate yourself. I want you to get better. And it might be for a petty reason at first. And that's okay. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes that's what you have to do, is you have to kind of live in that anger. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But sometimes you do have to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to get back at you. Because then eventually it's not going to be like that. Once you're healed, once you're better, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm just happy that I did it. So I hope that made sense, but I just want to let you know that people are not worth your peace. It is not worth it to continue this cycle, break the cycle. Do not be a victim. Do not be a victim to yourself. Do not abuse yourself, because you constantly going back and doing the same things and having the same mindset and expecting change, like, that's stupid. I'm sorry. I say that with love, but it is. You have to make change. And you might be doing really, really good for a month and then slip up. You had to slip up, brush it off, and get back up, do it again. Do the steps again. It's literally like AA. Like, you just have to keep working the steps. You got this. You can do this. If you need to talk, you can message me on Instagram, but stay on top of it. Do not fall back into a bad cycle with a person or anybody. Know your worth, because nobody's gonna believe you until you actually do it. That's one thing that happened, is he would say, well, how do I know you're actually gonna leave? Or how do I know? And then you just kind of realize, you're like, you're not. I can't prove anything to you. You're not gonna believe it until it actually happens. And then it actually happens and they start panicking. So literally, don't want you to try and heal solely to get back at them, like to have them back, basically, to make them chase you. But if that's what you got to do to get through this moment right now, then do it. Do whatever it takes to get through until you can elevate, until you can level up. But you got this. You'll be okay. I'm here for you, and I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.